Hello, this is Stockfather, and this is for entertainment, educational purposes only. And boy, was I wrong last video. So let's keep this one as realistic as possible. So first, I want to start off with the point and figure chart. This is pretty important. The support line uh, goes to 1650. So anything below 1650 should be a panic moment. If we break support, that's never a good time. Here you can see we broke support, and yeah, it wasn't great. So 1650, we want to watch that really close. Uh, the other thing is that it can run up to $22 and still be not be back in range and form a new range here. But if it hits $23, it's back in the range, and we'll probably go higher. now, now that we kind of got that, so 1650 and 23, and it could just turn around automatically when we start the day, uh, but I can't tell. I mean, I don't know if we could gap down again, but uh, on that, we'll look at the other normal chart before going over that. So the weird thing is like where it can catch at is like 1651, which is 1 penny above where we'd have to be panicking. So it can catch right where it would cause panic, at least for me. Once two cents under that, if it hits 649, we're in the other territory. And then we're looking at 14 probably as the next possible drop, possibly. But the good thing we got going for us, and I have a red line here too, or I don't have it here, but where we ended the day could be the place where it takes off. But yeah, unfortunately, yeah, they did not do a spring. They decided to drop it down, and it's past the 50% retracement. So uh, we can't officially say this was a distribution. Everything from the volume uh, says they didn't distribute that much, so it may be part of a an overall plan. And so uh, they may do another drop down or something, but I don't see them breaking the 1650. And then some people actually in Discord did a really good job of showing what accumulation would look like with the automatic reaction. So the automatic reaction would be, the bottom would be the selling climax, and the automatic reaction would come up above that. Well, as you can see, we have all these gaps that didn't get filled, and AMC does not like to leave gaps. It just doesn't, plain and simple. Uh, so it's got to go up to here. But the question is that as far as it's going to go? Where the gaps left on purpose, so we know it's only going to go up to 22 and do a sideways accumulation, or will it pass and go 23, or how will it react? Will be a an actual distribution where they react here and then they come up and kind of come over the mark and have an up thrust and then kind of build something here and then take it back down and then do one last one and totally melt us. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to tell. There's so many things that caught me off guard that yeah. But the weird thing is that the one line where we can catch just happens to be 1 penny above, or 2 pennies really above where we'd be scared for it to go any lower, or I would be. And there's plenty of ideas that it would turn around because of all all the gaps, but the gaps only go up to $22.56, which is perfect because as long as it don't go above 23, then it would start an accumulation in this range. It may be a small one and take off, but uh, we at least get that out of it. It's kind of weird that everything points to this, but I don't want to be certain about anything anymore after my me believing this was going to be a spring and them doing the the opposite. I yeah, I I don't know. I don't know why. I think because my because I was right until I was wrong, right? So I was too confident in my own TA, and it's humiliating and humbling at the same time. And and I feel bad because I really, really, really thought I was going to call it good. So, so the I don't know. Right now, what I'm looking at is if it looks like a big volume spike comes in around 1650 uh, and stops it and starts to kind of turn around, I'll probably be looking to get some 22s for the week. Um, if it just starts the day out going up and then it may may do one of those fake outs where it's like kind of goes up and then it drops, or it could just gap down and start the day at the bottom, start running up. Um, uh, there's so much going on with this from a Wyckoff standpoint. I mean, they could. I mean, if they didn't leave these gaps, I would think that they were going to take it down. But it also has been in line right where it's at with um, what they've done in the past, and it's the only thing that makes me think like they could take it from where it is. So like if we take this distribution like pattern here and see where it caught, where it doesn't fully uh, distribute, it just is part of a larger pattern, and so it comes across looking like distribution, and it's not really that. If we look at this, uh, one that so this would be the start of it, and it's kind of like where we are. I mean, it does look like it's slightly down, but it's don't want to move that. It's practically where we are on a relative basis, right? So it could just start the day turning around, and as you can see, it kind of this thing did, and from here it went way up, right? So we could have that. Um, we could have a very similar thing, and we do still have this, as long as it catches around this 60 or 651 at least, we do still have this curve going, right? This, I mean, I bet Brooks has got a wonderful banana thing going on. I can't do the curve. I don't know why. I always look like I grab a curve and I'm like, what does he use that it makes makes them so nice? I'm not really sure. Send lines, I think. No, that's what he does is S. But yeah, it's I know he has a video out right now too where he's got somewhere 6 or 15 something. And to me, I am scared to go down to the 15. So I'd rather keep this on track of going up. But they may take it down to this level too and hold it out the rest of the day, because I think the rest of the day, they can hold it around this level just like they did the whole day, the last 2 days that we watched this, where it went down and it just kind of stayed in one place. And the reason they may be doing that was to see the effects. They might do it to see the effects of the split dividend, and then kind of base their decision off of that, right? Where they could take it all the way down, or they could turn it around like they're supposed to. But they first want to see how this, dividend thing plays out. And I'll go back once again to the point and figure just to kind of show you again. And for the people that don't follow it completely, you may want to check out Clearly Thinking's TA because he does pretty good counts and stuff. But this being a new wall, as he puts it, we formed all this up here. And if you do a count, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then from the top, you would count times 3 down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1650. So the count up here going down suggests 1650. So it's like 1651 in my head, but you know, as wrong as I've been lately, I hate to even think that. Now, another row of X's going up will make this. I don't know what it kind of changes it into. It's very. It makes it very odd, right? So, if it makes it up to all the way up to 27 or 28, it becomes a breakout at that point, and it will run. But I don't know if I see it just partially coming up and then forming another accumulation here. Maybe not as deep, 4 or 5 columns across, because going from 16 to 22 is a pretty hefty amount, and then going back and forth in between those amounts, they could really launch it from there or take it down. Either way, but I'm going to pay extra attention to which way they're going, and yeah, that's the way I see it, and what you should be aware of. And mostly, one last thing I'll end with is on the normal chart. When you're watching it, if you can watch it through the day. Um, sorry, I'm gonna have to tell Google to stop. Stop. Uh, the If you're watching it through the day, you might want to be, somewhere on the 5 minute mark. If you go to it's a little bit easier to see on a 5 minute mark when a big scoop of volume comes in, because that'll kind of tell you uh, the stopping action that should happen in uh, a big spike of volume. And they usually do that at the beginning of the day. So um, now that doesn't mean like these days where the volume can come in and stop and then go sideways the rest of the day and then push up a bunch of volume where, looks like they're just setting it up for a kind of another fall. It's like almost like this one did, and at the end of the day shot up, and then this one got a lot of heavier volume going down lower, and then it just shot up at the end of the day. So uh, I'm completely comfortable with it catching here. I don't, but when I look at the pattern, I don't see overall like distribution like this being like a uh, tough distribution. It doesn't even have a rounding off here. Usually it has a round off when it drops. This one's kind of just bizarre, almost like they decided kind of quickly that they were going to drop it. Um, and I thought they were doing it to come down to make the spring here. This part would have been pretty close to where I thought the spring was going to be, and then come up. But well, if you saw my other videos, you know that's what I thought. Yeah, I don't know. I don't, I think the 1651 is looking pretty prime, or just turning around right when we start the day. I don't I don't see us breaking that. I feel like if we break that, we're going to go see 14, and then who knows from there. So I don't really see us breaking in now. If we do, um, you know, bring it up to me. He said if we went to 1649, that it's probably going to drop. It's not an exact science, but yeah, that's how the point and figure would suggest. But also on the point and figure that I showed you, we are at 650. We would make our count, so which would be anywhere between 650 and 699, 1699. I must say it's six. Well, we haven't dropped to the pre-teens, but I thought the teens were going to be gone. I thought that was we were going to have a very, very little dip into the teens, and then we'd be gone. But yeah, at this point, it's broke past where a spring could be. It's too far from the sawing climax to be a spring without uh, it being a terminal spring. And if it's that, it's probably similar to the other ones where it catches and turns around and comes back up and works out. So, um, yeah, that's what I'm going to be kind of looking for. So, catch you on the flip side.